Hi, and welcome to Cenario, your partner in mental wellness. Here on our channel, we share educational, insightful, and science-backed content to help you understand your mental health and take meaningful steps toward a more balanced life. If you're ready to learn, grow, and take control of your wellness journey, let's jump right in.
Today, we're diving into a topic that a whole lot of new parents experience, but almost no one talks about: postpartum rage. It can feel, well, pretty intense and honestly scary. But the most important thing to know, right from the start, is that you can feel better. Okay, let's get right into it. You picture this time being filled with joy, right? But what if you're feeling rage instead? If you're experiencing this intense, totally unexpected anger after having a baby, I really need you to hear this. You are so far from being alone. And what you're feeling, it has a name.
All right, first things first, let's really define what we're talking about here. What exactly is postpartum rage, and how is it different from, the normal stress that everyone expects with a newborn?
So this is not just being in a bad mood or feeling a little stressed out. No way. We're talking about a distinct condition here. It's marked by these explosive feelings that can feel totally overwhelming, completely out of your control. They often pop up out of nowhere and just feel way out of proportion to whatever just happened.
Okay, get ready for this number because it might actually surprise you. Recent studies show that about 21% of postpartum women report these exact symptoms. That's more than 1 in every 5 new mothers. Think about that for a second. It is so much more common than we think, but for some reason, it's often just not talked about in those routine checkups.
Now, this is absolutely crucial. We need to understand how rage is different from other postpartum conditions you might have heard about. They can definitely hang out together. Rage, depression, and anxiety can all show up at the same party, but they are not the same thing. Depression is that heavy, persistent low mood. Anxiety is the constant worrying of worry. But rage is its own animal. It's all about that explosive, fiery anger.
Okay, so where on earth does this come from? This is maybe the most important part, because understanding the why is the very first step to letting go of any of that guilt or self-blame. Let me say this loud and clear. This is not a personal failure.
Think of it like a perfect storm brewing inside you. It's both physiological and psychological. First, you've got this massive hormonal crash after birth. Estrogen and progesterone just fall off a cliff, which makes regulating your emotions so much harder. Then pile on severe sleep deprivation. We all know what that does to our brains. It just tanks your ability to stay calm. Then you might have some key nutrients that are totally depleted. And finally, you throw in this huge gap between the parenthood you pictured and the reality you're living. It really is the perfect storm for rage.
All right, so let's talk about what this actually looks like. What does it feel like day to day? Because spotting the signs, seeing the patterns, that's the key to knowing when you might need a little more support.
The signs can really show up in 3 main ways: in your body, in your feelings, and in your actions. So physically, you might notice your heart is just racing, or maybe your jaw is always clenched tight. Emotionally, oh man, it's that intense hair-trigger irritability, right? And it's often followed by this crushing wave of guilt or shame. And then behaviorally, it might come out as yelling or slamming doors or maybe even just wanting to avoid the baby because it all feels like just too much.
So when is it time to get help? The big thing to look for is when these signs stop being isolated incidents and start becoming a pattern, If these episodes are happening a lot, if they feel absolutely impossible to control, or if you see them starting to hurt your relationships with your partner, your family, or even with yourself, that is your signal. That is the time to reach out and get a professional's perspective.
Okay, we've defined the problem. We've looked at the causes and the signs. Now let's shift gears and focus on the most important part, the solutions, because there absolutely is a path to feeling better.
Therapy can be a game changer. Seriously, there are a few different kinds that are super helpful. You've got things like CBT, which helps you spot your anger triggers and kind of rewrite the stories you tell yourself. Then there are DBT skills, which are amazing for learning how to handle those really intense emotions in the moment. And hey, if you had a difficult birth experience, trauma-informed therapy can be absolutely essential for healing.
And it's not just about therapy. Practical, everyday changes can have a huge, almost immediate impact. Honestly, getting more sleep is probably the fastest way to turn down the volume on the rage. Just one solid, uninterrupted 3 or 4 hour block of sleep can make a world of difference. And then, looking at your nutrition, building in tiny little calming moments for yourself, and actually creating a network of people who can give you practical help, all of these are key pieces of the puzzle.
All right, this is a big one. Knowing you need help is one thing, but actually asking for it, that can feel like a whole other mountain to climb, especially when you're just so tired. So let's break it down and make it easier. Let's look at a super simple, direct script you can literally just say out loud. I'm struggling right now. Can you take the baby for 20 minutes so I can breathe? See what's happening there? It's not an attack. It's not blaming anyone. It's just a clear statement of how you're feeling, and it's a specific, small, time-bound request. It gives your partner or a friend something concrete they can do right now to help you.
Okay, here's another one that's just as powerful because it completely removes the guesswork. Instead of a vague, I just need more help, which can be hard for people to act on, you're saying, I need help with X today. Can you handle it at Y time? Like, I need help with dinner tonight. Can you take over at 6? That kind of clarity makes it a million times easier for people to actually show up for you in the way you need them to.
Okay, so to make this feel way less overwhelming, let's just focus on 3 concrete first steps. That's it, just 3 things. Number 1, book a doctor's appointment. Get your iron and thyroid checked, talk about your mood. Rule out the physical stuff. Number 2, see if you can arrange for just 1 week of help at night to get some core sleep. This is about resetting your whole system. And number 3, just schedule 1 therapy session. You don't have to commit to a year, just 1 session to get some immediate tools. See? Small, doable steps. They make all the difference.
And I really want you to remember this, please. Getting better, it's a process. It's not a straight line. There are going to be good days, and there are going to be really hard days. But taking these steps, asking for help, heck, even just watching this and learning about it, that is a sign of incredible strength. It shows how much you're committed to yourself and to your family.
So as we wrap up this explainer, it all comes down to this one question. A question that only you can answer right now. What is one, just one, small, manageable step you can take today, right now after you're done here? Maybe it's making a phone call. Maybe it's just sending a text message. Or maybe it's just giving yourself permission to take 5 minutes to just breathe. Whatever it is, that one small step, that's where it all begins.
Thank you for watching Cenario. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For personalized mental wellness supplements, visit Cenario.com. See you in the next one.